Hey everyone. So I just had a coaching call, and every once in a while I'll have a coaching session and something so profound happens, whether it's I say something profound, which I do every once in a while, or they'll say something that's so profound that I just think that it's worth sharing. When this coaching call today, one of the challenges that I continue to have with this young man is he is afraid. He lives in fear. He sets goals based on fear. He makes decisions based on fear. He lives his life based on fear. And he knows that he needs to get out of that mode of operating out of fear, but he doesn't know how. So we've been working with him and giving him some tools and some tips and some strategies so that he can start living a life based on his goals, so that he can start to visualize himself living in a situation or in an environment where he's full of success and his fear has subsided. But today, one of the things that I challenged him to do was to just show up. Just show up. Just be where you know you're supposed to be in those times that you're supposed to be there. And don't be afraid to just stand there. It might be in silence. It might be you questioning. It might be you answering questions that are thrown at you. But instead of being afraid and not showing up, just show up. Just show up. So what does that look like? Showing up looks like being at the table that you know you're supposed to be at. Showing up looks like you going after that job that you want without you telling yourself that you're not qualified. Showing up means that you're stepping out on faith to start a new career even when you're middle-aged. Showing up means that you are living without fear, and that you are operating as though you cannot fail. I've asked that question a couple of times. You've heard me ask that question. What would you do if you could not fail? The answer to that is what showing up is about. So showing up for me is different than showing up for you. It's different than showing up for him. But we will not be successful and live the life of purpose that we have within us to live unless we at least show up. So I encouraged him to do that, and I asked him, what does showing up mean to you? Interestingly enough, he knew exactly what it meant. So then the next question is, then why aren't you showing up? And of course, his answer was about fear. So I'm going to challenge everyone, and I have to challenge myself to do this as well. Think about, what are you afraid of? What are you afraid of that's stopping you from going after what you really want? What are you afraid of, and what are you feeding yourself, or what are you letting others feed inside of and letting it get inside of your head that is stopping you from going after you want? What are those self-defeating beliefs that are in your head that's stopping you from showing up? So that's what I vow to do today and every day. I encouraged him to do that going forward. And I just wanted to share that message with you. It's time for us to be vulnerable, be self-reflective, to not be afraid to fail. It's time for us to think about our lives from a success standpoint, from a growth standpoint, and not from a standpoint of what could negatively happen or what has negatively happened in our lives that impacts our ability to succeed today. Success is in us. Success is in us, and we're worth it. We're worth that success that we know is there for us. And, for those who are spiritually based, I know I am, God wants us to be successful. He didn't put us here on earth to just be ordinary. I'm not ordinary. I'm pretty darn fabulous in my own head, at least. And you should think that you're fabulous too. And yes, we all have areas that we need to work on. We all have those opportunities to enhance or grow because none of us are perfect. But guess what? Even though we're not perfect, we're pretty awesome. And you'll know how awesome you are if you just show up.